everyone, this is Roxanne Grinage. I'm Legal Assistant, Marketing Careers Project Manager for a Pennsylvania and U.S. Department of Treasury registered now for 14 years. Certified expert in 9 areas of administrative practice, HireLyrics Administrative Services. We are an internet company. We provide standard access to our professional legal assistant marketing careers project manager services via the internet technologies, and we render them the same way. Okay, via the internet technologies. We email our documents and so on. Drafts of documents. All of our document production, our research findings of fact, our pitch books, our marketing of the person's career, marketing of a case study to litigators and law enforcement. Today is election day here in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Everybody get out to vote. Remember, a lot of people died so you could have the right to vote. So don't waste your vote. Exercise your right to vote and go out and vote. My opinion is that, my opinion is formed by close to 3,000 now standard claims intake interviews and assessments that verify the official corruption, fraud, and civil rights claims, legal malpractice, and perjury claims of federal crime victims that are created by some type of state court corruption or fraud or theft, mechanized systematically that's happening, false arrest and so on, kidnap for profit schemes of children. My opinion is formed that once you are a federal crime victim created by some type of official corruption, fraud, and civil rights violation, legal malpractice in the state court, caused usually by perjury by a Department of Human Services employee, a state employee, that you have to be particularly prudent about. Of course, trust is an issue, but in protecting yourself and exercising every lawful recourse. I didn't say non-assertive, I said every lawful recourse. So litigation is an industry invoking your right, your pro se right to petition your court for redress of grievances, which is your state, most states' constitutional rights and U.S. constitutional right. Whether you went to law school or not is something that you shouldn't wait for somebody to give you permission to do. That you should be prepared to exhaust assertively and aggressively every possible recourse that you have for documenting individual accountability for who dropped the ball, who might have been incompetent, who was willful, who was malicious, who conspired, who acted criminally, discerned criminal responsibilities for the personal injuries, disabilities, wrongful death, and involuntary servitude that occurred as a result of someone being greedy or violating their own federal funded Children's Protective Services laws or their own agency guidelines, policies, and procedures. So that's individual responsibility, not having any immunity in the 1983 Civil Rights Act. Alright, so the purpose for this video today, November 5th, 2013, Tuesday, is I want to clarify some things for the claimant who is sincere about moving forward on, their objective is to get their children back, to find their children, to track their children. The same databasing technologies that are used many times and misused and mistakenly used to harm federal crime victims are the same database technologies that are afforded to us now through the low-cost and free internet service technologies. We can network now, we can share information. Okay, I'm running low on battery. Okay, really quickly. Those of you who seek me out that do present with claims, your claims are valid, your claims are real, but you cannot expect any professional service or anyone else to see it through more thoroughly, more consistently than you do. Many of us are traditionalized to think, socialized to think, brought up to think that if we pay someone X amount of dollars, they're going to do the right thing by us. There are some things which are service-oriented businesses, like services. There are products you can buy and you can see the quality of the product, the tangible product. But when it comes to a service, there's no way you can regulate someone's delivery of that service in your own best interest. They're either integrous, they're either ethical, they're either qualified, or they're not. So I'm asking the federal crime witness claimant, the victim of family court corruption, juvenile court corruption, state court, criminal court, false arrest, unlawful imprisonment, I'm asking you guys to stop. I'm not asking you guys not to get attorneys. You need attorneys. Attorneys are skilled in citations, rule of law, and you do need attorneys in many processes. However, there are many things that you could do non-attorney represented, pro se, through compliant official court website forms. If you go to any official court website, and they start at the municipal level in your city, go to your city.gov website, go to your state.gov website, and then go to your district court, your federal court website, and you will see pro se packages. You will see forms that you could fill out that aren't just about a federal complaint. They're about everything. Landlord-tenant law. They're about getting your employee unemployment compensation. They're about insurance fraud. All types of things that you can do. Oh, getting your license back, appealing in traffic court, appeals forms, and so on. So what I'm just telling you is, when you approach me for services, many people are saying that, oh, it's okay, we have till the first or second week in December to answer. It's not. It's a competitive process. Litigation is an industry as well. There are other parties that are affected, and these official court websites have official rules, policies, and procedures for noticing, for certified notice, and for giving everybody fair notice and time to consider whatever it is you're filing. So if you're filing a motion for continuance pending the court correct several administrative errors, where you see they got your standing all messed up, they got your name all messed up, they got the timeline all messed up, half the events and evidence in the best interest of the child are missing, or all of it are missing, and you want to get something filed in, you don't have till the court date to get it filed in. It's too late by then. You need whatever professional services you're using, even if it's yourself, right? Or a legal assistant or an attorney. You need to start getting your document reviewed of them, your case history, your documents from your docket need to be reviewed. Reviewed for what? What do I talk about? What do I mean when I say we need to review the documents? We're looking for who's responsible, whose name is stamped on there, what judge's name is stamped on there. How can we research that judge's record, his win-loss, his decision record? How can we research this docket to see if it was fair or if it's prejudiced in any way? How can we identify falsified case reports by maybe corrupt or dishonest or incompetent CPS caseworkers or social workers? We need to be able to review the case history so that we can find the deficiencies of process or identify the actual legal malpractice of a state statute or several state statutes, federal statutes, and Children Protective Services laws, or the violation of civil rights that occurred to cause an unlawful imprisonment, false arrest, and many times under inhumane conditions and retaliation. So I just wanted to say that really quickly. So again, with all due respect, I'm looking forward to speaking before the Congressional I'm looking forward and honored to have been asked to be one of the 4 featured speakers at the U.S. Congressional Educational Panel April 10th. And I am focusing on our practice model, our schematics, how it works to have standard access to standard services for the disadvantaged creators of U.S. economy, enriching career contribution, because that's what all of us are. the federal crime witness claimant, our U.S. economy careers contribution is missing. It would have otherwise enriched it when our children are disabled by the time they get to kindergarten and they can't benefit by education, no matter how progressive the educational reform is, and our lifetime career earnings are stolen or depleted through hiring one attorney after the next, or one false fraudulent fine, paying one fraudulent fine after the next, or one class or service that we don't want but we're forced into commercial transactions and so-called family service plans. So I'm just saying, if you want to hire me to produce your documents, I don't just produce documents for the heck of it. I produce the facts and evidence found in document case history review, which includes interview of you, claims intake interview of you. The first session is many times up to 2 hours, and then thereafter, competitively, we have to resonate together. So if you feel you're too wounded, you're too depressed, or you go through crying jags, you're not able to get out of bed in the morning, you're not able to answer your phone, you're not able to get back to me, I'm not the one for you. I'm not the one, because I enter into the competitive process with you. Not only is my professional reputation on the line, but my personal safety as well, and there's costs involved with running any business. My document production rate fees for $750 for a state court filing and $1,500 for a federal complaint, case initiation documents, are bare minimum, even below what the cost is to actually produce those documents in terms of justifying the research time, the verification time, the ink, the toner cartridges, the paper, all right, and the postage, Rule 4 services, summons, and so on. So, again, I don't want to insult anyone, but the truth is, please reserve your approaching me with questions about what next steps are, because my next steps are always going to say, get it in a court of record, get your facts, your evidence, your timeline, your proofs, in the best interest of yourself, your children, your family, your loved ones, in a court of law for the purpose of laying cornerstones and building a foundation that you will one day be able to go to a federal court and say, this is why we need a writ of mandamus. This is why there has been legal this is why the federal court has jurisdiction, because the state court has legally malpracticed its own statutes, and thereby these decisions that cause these people, these human beings, to fall through the cracks of protection from domestic violence, and fall through the cracks of protection from human trafficking, and fall through the cracks of protection from false arrest. This is exactly why you need to reverse, nullify, rescind the state court's decision. I love you all so much. This is Roxanne Grinage. I'm legal assistant, marketing, careers, project manager for HireLyrics Administrative Services.